It's story time. Story time. Let's read it story time. Story time. I'm geek the story time. Story time. You and me, it's story time. Story time. Let's achieve. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Story Time with me, Kayla. I hope you are enjoying your beautiful Wednesday and making sure to stay safe, please. Now, today we have another special author feature. Today, we are going to take a look at a book from Erica Burrell, aka the Teacher Lady. Now, she is an author, illustrator, and a special education teacher. So, without further ado, the book we'll be reading tonight is called More Than a Wheelchair, written and illustrated by Erica Burrell. You ready to see what this book is all about? Ready, set, let's begin. Whoosh. More Than a Wheelchair, written and illustrated by Erica M. Burrell. Here we go. She dedicates this book to everyone who does not know how much they can accomplish. May this story be the encouragement you need to believe in yourself. And a little background, she interviewed 8 fantastic people with unique differences and turned their advice into this children's book. Enjoy! Just from the words from our author and illustrator. Let's begin. Good morning, class, Mrs. Burrell said with a smile on her face. I have a special surprise today. You all know that I believe in you, so today we have special guests who will share things they have learned that have made their lives better. Every day I hear you tell me what you can't do. Yeah, we can't do anything because we're disabled, Rudy shouted. Speak for yourself, Calvin disagreed. Stop interrupting my class. Anyway, I will let them introduce themselves, said Mrs. Burrell. Hi, I'm Ernest. Ernest started walking through the door. Wow, he looks like me, Danny said, surprised. Yes, I do. My name is Ernest, and I was born with a medical condition called Treacher-Collins syndrome. I wish I would have talked more when I was your age. Since I was different, I was quiet. So quiet that my classmates thought I couldn't speak until I stood up for a girl being bullied in science class. Everyone was shocked that I could speak and wanted me to talk even more. I spent so much time being scared of talking because of how I sounded or looked. However, I realized that I was special because no one else sounded or looked like me, which is a cool thing. It sure is. You don't want to be like everyone else. You want to be your own individual. Now I can't stop talking. Some days are hard, but I am married with children, and I talk to people every day to try to help them at my job. I went from not talking at all to talking too much, Ernest joked. The class thanked Ernest and clapped as Mrs. Burrell invited their next guest. Class, I want you to meet a special friend of mine. Her name is Daphne. The class looked on in amazement as Daphne rolled in with a bright yellow shirt and a smile. Hello, class, she said, grinning from ear to ear. My name is Daphne, and I was born with a condition called cerebral palsy, which looks like she has to use a wheelchair. One thing I wish I would have known as a child is that not everyone will accept you or even like you, and that's okay. Yeah, but I want more friends, Sammy replied. I can understand that, and I used to feel the same way, but what's important is how your friends treat you. Having one good friend is better than having 10 mean ones. Now, I know it doesn't matter how many friends you have. What's important is how your friends treat you. Everyone may not be kind, but you can be kind to others, including yourself. The friends you are supposed to have will appreciate you for who you are, not who they think you should be. That is so true. It starts with yourself. You should be kind to yourself, and others will follow. Your friends who are meant to be your friends will love you and appreciate you just for who you are. Thank you so much for sharing, Mrs. Burrell said as Daphne left the classroom. Class, I hope you're learning something new about who you can be. Well, yeah, but those people are different. No one is like me. I am glad you said that, Roger. Class, I want you to meet our next guest. Hey everyone, I'm Kennedy, she said with a smile and a wave. I am 16 and I have Down syndrome. Down syndrome just means I was born with an extra set of chromosomes, Kennedy stated. I model and dance and I love to swim. I do everything I want to do. Sometimes it's hard, but I try anyway. My advice is that I want you all to self-advocate. This means to speak up for yourself. When someone is mean to you, tell them to get out of your space. You teach people how to treat you, and you should be treated only with kindness. That's 100% true. Hey, I remember that Ernest self-advocated when he stood up for the girl being bullied. Is that the same thing? Asked Danny. He definitely spoke up for what he thought was right, which is very important. Advocate is just a fancy word for telling people what you need, Kennedy stated. Thanks so much for coming in, Mrs. Burrell said as 2 more people came through the door. That is so true. Speak up and tell someone. Hey everyone, I'm Talisha, and this is my friend Shankar. We have a special condition called vitiligo. Although vitiligo is a skin condition and not a disability, sometimes people are scared of us or don't want to be around us, so we know how it feels to be different. My advice is to not hide who you truly are. It is okay to be different. When you show your difference instead of hiding it, others like you may feel better about themselves. I spent a long time trying to hide my spots, Talisha said as Shankar agreed. Then we realized that if we kept hiding our spots, people would think there was something wrong with them. But there's nothing wrong with our skin. Absolutely. I completely agree, Shankar said. One thing I want to add is that there were so many things I wanted to do as a child, but didn't do because of other people's opinions of me. My life got better when I made choices for myself, even if other people didn't like me or think I was cool. See, when you focus on you and do what makes you happy, other people's opinions doesn't even matter. Now I get to live my dream of writing a comic series called The Vitiligo Man, and I get to talk to others about vitiligo. Some people think it's weird that I made a character with vitiligo, but I think it's great, and since it's my life, that's what matters. Wow, this is awesome. Louis, come on in, Mrs. Burrell said. That'll be a cool comic to read. The Vitiligo Man. Hi, I'm Louis, and I have autism. Having autism can be hard because I do not always understand how people around me feel, especially when they don't tell me. It can also be hard for me to talk to people who don't know me. Me too, Stephanie said under her breath. I think the best advice I can give is to not compare yourself to other people. For a long time, I watched the cool kids and tried to be like them. Then I realized I will never be like them, and that's a good thing. Being yourself is great advice, Mrs. Burrell said, feeling accomplished. Jim, welcome to our class, she stated, waving at the door. He was trying to be like the others and like be cool, but maybe he ended up liking science and math and everything. But if he wouldn't have focused on doing what he liked to do and instead of trying to be like others, then who knows? Hello class, my name is Jim and I am a ballet dancer. I love to dance and that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. Oh no, you're gonna make us dance? Leroy whined. No, silly. Jim smiled. Dancing is my thing. I want you to figure out yours. Hmm. I was born with a cleft lip and cleft palate. It basically means my lip is split, causing my nose to look different. I have gotten a lot of surgeries, but will always look different, and I'm okay with that. What helped me when I was younger was finding my thing, the thing I love to do more than anything else. When you find what you love to do, life gets a little easier. Maybe that's swimming or baking for you. For me, it was dancing. He was able to find something that he loved to do, so when you think of Jim, you think of Jim the dancer. Jim, I am so glad you came in today, Mrs. Burrell said, feeling excited. Class, I want you to welcome our next guest, Megan. Megan came walking into the room, wearing a purple ruffled shirt and grinning from ear to ear. How old are you? A student shouted. Hello, I am an adult, and I have the rarest form of dwarfism called metatropic dysplasia. Sometimes it is hard for me to try new things because of what other people thought I could do. Then I realized I won't know what I can do or not do until I try. So my advice for you today is to try as many things as you can. I have skated, danced, and gone horseback riding. Also, I am now a teacher. A real teacher like Mrs. Burrell? Lay shouted. Yes, a real teacher, Megan smiled. Even though I am smaller than my students, I went to college and became a teacher because I knew I could do it. Wow, Megan, it is always good to hear from another educator. We appreciate you sharing. Well, class, there's just one more person I want you to hear from. Can they hurry up? It's almost lunchtime, Brittany blurted out. Brittany. Well, the last speaker is me. What? Brittany replied. You are not disabled, or you don't look different. See, that's the thing. Not all disabilities are physical. Sometimes disabilities are on the inside and no one can see them. He has a disability, and she also has a disability. Some are seen and some aren't. As in, someone may have walk with crutches or a wheelchair, and some can function without. It's internal. I have a disability called dyslexia. Dyslexia is a disability that causes me to mix up letters or numbers. It can make it harder for me to read sometimes. But you taught us how to read, Danny said. I know, Mrs. Burrell laughed. I think my struggle with dyslexia makes it easier for me to teach students to read because I understand how hard it can be. My piece of advice for you all is to change the way you talk about yourself. All day I hear you say mean things about yourself. I can't do this. I'm dumb. I'll never be able to do this, etc. When you call yourself ugly or say you can't do something, you believe it's true, even though it's not. When you change how you talk about yourself, you'll be surprised at how much more you can accomplish. I want you to take out your English notebooks and write 10 things you like about yourself. You had better hurry too, since lunch is at noon. That is so true. When you speak positivity into your life about yourself, it encourages you and boosts your confidence and just makes you feel so good. So if you do have a negative naysayer, their opinion won't even matter to you because you're so elevated with yourself. And here's the 8 individuals. Miss Kennedy, Mr. Ernest. Her advice, speak up and stand up for yourself. His advice, the world needs to hear what you have to say. Mr. Lewis, there are other people who like the same things you do. Sometimes it just takes a while to find them. Miss Talisha, don't hide yourself because others will be encouraged by you. That is so true. Mr. Shankar, never let other people's opinions stop you from living your dreams. And Mr. Jim, find what it is you love to do and do it often. Ms. Daphne, teach people how you want to be treated. Miss Megan, try new things. And Mrs. Burrell, talk about yourself with respect, love, and kindness. Absolutely. And here's a little asterisk down here that I want to read. It says, unique abilities is a term Erica often uses instead of disabilities. The idea is to focus on what people can do instead of what they are unable to do. The end. Yes, K-Crew! I absolutely love that term, unique abilities, especially coming from someone like me who has read close to 100 books this year and has dyslexia herself. I've never let my dyslexia or my dyscalculia get in my way of graduating college, becoming a preschool teacher, and of course, reading to my K-Crew. Now, I hope you enjoy reading this book as much as I did. To find your copy of More Than a Wheelchair, make sure to head on over to her website, www.publishedpower.com. And this book is also available on Amazon, and be sure to follow her on social media. A big shout out to Erica Burrell for shedding light on so many disabilities, and a shout out to all 8 of the amazing individuals for sharing their stories and teaching us even more. I also want to give a shout out to all her students and to her daughter, Addison Grace. Hey, thanks for watching. I thank you all out there for watching too, but it's time to sing goodbye. Are you ready? Here we go. Goodbye, 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 my friends. Goodbye to you. I hope to see you again real soon. Be proud of all your work tonight. Now climb into bed and sleep real tight. On the count of 3, let's say goodnight. 1, 2, 3, good night.